Welcome to Dubrovnik. This beautiful facade. These walls you may recognize from Game of Thrones or from any other famous places.
Over the past few years, tourism numbers have exploded in Dubrovnik. UNESCO has expressed concern and warned the Croatian government that the old city risks losing its World Heritage status.
And you might assume there's a ton of history here. There's probably so many wars fought here. I'm gonna learn so much by being here about the culture and the people and the population, but you'd be wrong.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Guys, welcome to Dubrovnik. I was trying to save some money and get like a local bakery shop. All right, for breakfast today, I'm gonna have some holy break. I was thinking it would be like, I thought it was 2 pieces, and this is so small for $7. Oh my god. This little fucking piece of bread was $6.42. I'm sure it tastes okay, but god damn, that was expensive. To put this in perspective, like this tastes okay, it's not bad, but last week in Bosnia, this was like $1. This is now 6 times the price. Oh my god, look at all these huge tour groups. A lot of these guys are from cruise ships. You can tell from the MSC. So they actually don't bring any money into the economy here. They're just basically here to look around and then they go back on the ship. I think every place that's overcrowded like here, they need to have a rule where if somebody wants to come just as like a day trip and not actually spend any money. Because the thing is, if you are on a cruise ship, and I've been on cruises, so I know how it works. You'll come here for a couple hours. Like you have breakfast on the cruise ship. You come here for a few hours. You walk around, look at stuff. You might buy coffee. Like 1 in 10 people might buy like a souvenir. But like in general, most people might not even spend a penny because a lot of times they don't have the local currency. A lot of times they only pay for a few hours anyways. They look around, just kind of take up space, say they've been here, and then they will go back on the ship to have lunch or dinner. So cruise ship passengers are really kind of like the bane of tourism because they don't bring much value at all, and they just make places overcrowded, driving up prices for everyone else. So if I was the local government, I would say if cruise ship passengers want to dock, yeah, it's whatever their standard fee is. They can look and observe from the boat all they want for free. If they want to come off the ship for a day pass, that's less than 24 hours or less than whatever, then it's like a $50 prepayment. So they get $50 or whatever it is, or $80 in local bucks, so Dubrovnik bucks. So then they can use that to spend in coffee shops, restaurants, souvenirs. So at least they have to spend $50 or $80 or whatever it is. And that way it'll deter a lot of people from even getting off. And if they do get off, they will spend some money. Because right now, this actually isn't crowded. They said that normally this entrance right here would be so crowded. You have to wait 20 minutes just to walk through this one little entrance that you see these lines set up for.
With its clear blue sea and impressive city walls, Dubrovnik has become a dream destination for European tourists, a bit too popular, according to some people. By plane or by cruise ship, the city welcomes thousands of holidaymakers every day.
Bonjour.
Tourists have taken over the city. Tour guides and their groups lurk on every street corner. During the high season, as these photos show, entering the old town can seem like a mission impossible. Even some tourists here are overwhelmed by the sheer number of visitors.
I thought this area was going to be quieter. Maybe this is the less nice part of Dubrovnik?
It's normal. If there's something beautiful to see here, then obviously there'll be lots of people who'll come.
It's become a sort of theme park. Either that or you have to get here really early in the morning, like at 5 a.m. so you can take good photos.
And it's the same story beyond the city's walls. Long lines for buses and roads blocked by traffic.
Just imagine tens of thousands of people just right here.
It's about where is the red hip or where is the set. They don't exist, of course.
Oh, it's CGI.
Yes. And
Here. Wow.
two of them are talking how to defend King's Landing from Stannis. Marcella leaving, coming back. And also this was poor area of King's Landing, you will see later. So you remember the wildfires?
Yeah, the
Those
wildfire,
great
yeah.
explosions in the show. So this was not filmed here. Base too small. It's protected by UNESCO. So they could not do such a stunts, explosions here. So it was filmed in Northern Ireland and Belfast, which was throughout the whole time of filming. Studio quarters were up there, and you can see the rock down there. You can see the fortress, and this is two of them talking. He tried to convince Sansa to leave for a Winterfell. Early in the show, remember she was engaged to Joffrey, and he was abusive and Littlefinger. I don't know for you, but from the beginning I was suspicious about him. That raspy voice and smug face, I didn't know. City walls on that side, from up there. This is from the set photo of Knights Fighting. Down there are the boxes, so you can see.
So the upper walls cost about $35 to go on, but these lower walls, you can climb all you want.
And then, when Marcella was coming back later, you remember Cersei sent Jaime. So this time it was only Cersei. The mountain was up there, standing near in front of the stairs. And then they prepared this scene. They did not repeat the mistake. Now this is a typical sea boat. This is not gondola anymore. If you're local, and this is not worst thing. While watching the show and you recognize, structures around. Much different is to recognize people in the show. Then you feel kind of like, this is not real.
Like as people that you know?
Yeah. Like that lady that was torturing Cersei. She never spoke a single word, she was just mean. Even though Cersei was mean, these people were even worse. So this is also choreography scene, mostly approaching this guy. Then we have Walk of Shame. So it was only 100 extras used for this scene, not full street covered the extras. It was 100 of them. They made a pattern of them and covered the street with the extras. And this is not Lena Heidel walking naked. They used the model to be body double. She was 3 months pregnant, so she refused. And first, every camera angle, it shot the girl walking naked, and then Cersei walking out. So if you rewatch again, you will see something.
So these are the stairs of shame.
That's a tiny.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Welcome to the Walk of Shame. So for today's lunch, I'm just outside the city walls having a walk of shame, and it's $12. So a good deal compared to being inside the wall, but still expensive. So here are some of the original cannonballs. So this beautiful church, and it looks like we're lucky that there's actually a mass going on right now. So just one block up from the main street is up the stairs are a bunch of restaurants. You would call this kind of restaurant alley, restaurant row. I probably counted 25 restaurants just on the street, and it's going to be a lot cheaper than going to be literally down the stairs. And it's because nobody wants to walk up even one flight of stairs, especially not a single flight. So there's pasta there for about $12, or for $10 you can get a burger. And this place actually has a light lunch menu for everything that's $10 or less. So it's actually a pretty good deal. I just wish I knew about the street before I went to that Asian walk place outside the city, because that was actually even more than here. That was $12, and it was a pretty small portion, and it was just okay. It wasn't very good. All right, so I came here because the burgers looked nice in the photos, but this is what you actually get. This tiny little mini burger for $8. No fries, no pickles, no lettuce, no tomatoes. Dubrovnik survived and is famous not because of the grand history, it's because not that much actually happened here. So this place is very well preserved. It is kind of cool though to think that this used to be an actual working drawbridge down there where the children's park is. Used to be a moat, so the water from the sea would actually come all the way here, and these walls really were a very strong fortress. One of the reasons why it was never really conquered. So I'm gonna take you to the old city where I've been spending the last 2 nights, and I will tell you why I regret staying here for even 2 days. While normally I like staying in places for a month at a time or 2 months at a time to really get to know the history, the locals, the population. This is gonna be the first ever city I would tell you, just come as a day trip. Don't even bother spending the night inside. Even though from the outside it seems like it would be ideal. If you ever come during normal high season, which is July and August, this little walk here would actually take you a good 20-30 minutes just to queue up to get inside the second part of the city. But if that ever happens, there is a side gate where you saw that actually goes to that little park. So this is the secret entrance the locals normally use. As you can see, this is that park we looked at. So remember, this down here, this park used to be an actual moat. So there was water, and then small boats would actually come through this little tunnel. And now this is a somewhat secret side entrance, and skip at least half of the queue, majority of it to get in. So you'll see these ropes set up a little bit like Disneyland, and that's because this place is basically an amusement park. Very few locals actually live here. This guy's going on the wrong side, but it's okay. There's just tour groups now. Lots of, I mean, literally all you'll see is tour groups, people from the cruise. That's just kind of what Dubrovnik's for now. There is a beautiful fountain where you can luckily drink the water, and the buildings are absolutely beautifully undamaged. So as I mentioned before, the primary reason why Dubrovnik is so famous isn't because of the history, the wars that are fought here. It's the lack of wars and history that was fought here. They had still been through some skirmishes in the past. When they've actually started, they're under I think the Ragu kingdom and then the Byzantines, and they had a few wars here and there, but in general this place was so well fortified, and there wasn't really a big reason for people to come all the way here and attack them, that they kind of mostly just survived. It wasn't until the big earthquakes that really did a lot of damage. That's what really destroyed the towns, but mostly they rebuilt, and the local government was really smart. They forced all the houses to rebuild, so the bottom would be the shops or like the workshops, the middle would be the residential, and the kitchen would be on top. And that way, if there was a fire, which earthquakes often cause because they shakes down like the candles and everything, the fire will burn upwards and it wouldn't burn the entire house down, it would just burn the roof. Very smart guys. This that I'm walking on is the main street. It's not a big city. You can walk the entire thing in 20-30 minutes. But normally, this would be completely packed with tourists. You can see almost all the apartments here are now rentals for hotels and Airbnbs. There's far less than 1,000 residents that live in the entire city now. But most of those people are probably renting out their flats, at least in the summer. And probably zero live here in the actual touristy center because it's probably sold out. So this place is definitely very famous for Game of Thrones merchandise. So you'll definitely see some souvenir shops. I don't want to give the impression that there's no history here, because there definitely was. And the free walking tour I went on the other day was actually really good, super informative. But it was, 2.5 hours of my day. And the rest of it, you have overpriced restaurants, you have souvenir shops, you have crowds of package tourists, cruise ship tourists, and honeymoon tourists. And that's really, really it. That's all you have here. I guess the one good thing is everywhere does take credit card, but they have to because everything's so expensive. that nobody has enough cash to pay for anything here. Just to give you guys an idea, this is a random restaurant down the alley that I've never even looked at. So rice would be, what is that? 35 divided by 7. $6 maybe? A lamb would be 110, which is about maybe more than $15. Yeah, so if you just got a plain rice and one dish, it would already be over $20. That's without a drink, that's without bread or anything else. Last night, I had a dish at a random place here. Pretty good actually, but it was $40 just for the entree. So if you factor in a glass of wine and a dessert, you're easily spending, you know, $50, $60, $70, $80 per person, which is very expensive, especially because we are, remember, we are in Croatia, guys. We are in the Balkans, the former Yugoslavia, and I had just come from the capital of Bosnia and the touristy town of Mostar, both in which you can get a great meal with a beer or wine for less than $15. So definitely this place is anywhere between 4 to 8 times the price of those cities. Even compared to Split, this place is very expensive. So now let's take a look at another menu here. So a appetizer is $30, and any kind of let's see, a chicken salad would be $20. So there you have it. If you want to get a appetizer and a main, looking easily $50, and that's without a drink. So it is definitely a very expensive place, probably on par with, like, I don't know, maybe Manhattan, Hawaii, maybe like Norway or something. But we are in Croatia, guys. But obviously people are enjoying it. A ton of tourists are coming here because it's kind of like one of those bucket list places to go, especially after Game of Thrones was filmed here. I actually did a Game of Thrones walking tour just this morning, where I got to go to all the actual locations where everything was filmed and see what it was like. And I would say if I had come 5 years ago, when the series was kind of still fresh in my mind, everything was still going on, I probably would have really enjoyed it. But I think now in 2022, now that Game of Thrones has been over for so long, and honestly I don't remember what happened in like season 2, 10 years ago, it was a little bit underwhelming. So I would say coming all the way here just to say you've been where Game of Thrones was probably is definitely 100% not worth it unless you are like the biggest fan in the world, which I consider myself a fan. So I was excited to be here, but also remember, even though the streets and the buildings and the walls might be real, the castle, the Red Keep, all that is CGI.
The Golden Company.
Our men will fight harder than sellswords ever could. They will defend their queen to the last man.
Yes, Your Grace.
The Red Keep has never fallen. It won't fall today.
All the ships are CGI, so you won't actually see what you expect, what you're hoping for.
Your Grace?
What you will see is really beautifully maintained walls that have hardly been destroyed, or what has been beautifully restored. So one big reason why the city was never destroyed is whenever they kind of came close, they were smart enough where they're like, you know what, we don't actually have that much to lose here. Go ahead, just come in, don't destroy our beautiful city. So when the Austro-Hungarians and the Russians had both basically surrounded the city from different ends, and they were both attacking, they knew they were going to lose, and they said, which of the two is the lesser evil? And they thought, okay, let's make a deal with Austro-Hungary, and let's say, you can take the city, just don't give it to the Russians, don't let them destroy it. So they did, and this is why you have so many beautiful places that are still intact. It's definitely a place for people to come and take photos. And you can see why. It is absolutely beautiful, guys. Look at this. Even this dual hardware is amazing. And all these details on the buildings. It's definitely hard to tell you not to come here because it really is that beautiful. But I can definitely say don't come here in peak season, because in July and August, this place not only is so busy that you can't even walk around, but second, it gets so hot here. It gets to, on average, I think plus 37, which is probably close to 100 degrees. It's really hot, so there's no wind, and it's just sunny the whole time. So imagine that, just being in crowds, you can't walk around, you know, you're waiting in line to take a photo somewhere, but you can't even like relax. You know, there are technically beaches nearby, but nobody comes to Dubrovnik for the beaches. So I would recommend that if you were going my route and you flew into like Zadar or something like I did, go there, go to that beautiful little town, Sinovic. There, it's like a smaller version of Dubrovnik, like a very similar architecture, lots of history, beautiful, beautiful place. But there people actually still live. Restaurants are reasonably priced, and there's just not as many tourists. While here, it's famous and it's bigger, and that's why everyone comes here. But that's how you get all the downsides too. So you have the city itself, you have the mountains, and you have the fortress on top. There is a cable car that goes up there, but I think it's about $30 or something. So it's pretty expensive just to go up for a view. And just here around the corner, this is the famous scene of Game of Thrones. You might recognize it. Definitely one of my favorite scenes. So if your question is, what is better, Split or Dubrovnik? I would say probably Split, actually, overall. Split is very, very beautiful. It has way more history. It has the, you know, Dionysian's palace. It has, like, I don't know, it has more soul. It has more heritage. It's not just a movie set. Here, it really feels like we are in Disneyland, or Disney World. And the prices reflect that as well. But also, just kind of like the whole vibe, you know, like in Split, people actually live there. It's actually like a functional city. Here, it barely is. I mean, there might be a few old people who refuse to leave, but in general, the entire old town is just for tourists. What I actually think, how they can fix it is they should almost charge like an entrance fee for people to come in here. I don't know what they would do, but I wouldn't. You could not pay me to come here in July or August during normal peak season, where there's a billion people here and it's sweltering hot, and then sitting down to pay $50 for dinner at like a mediocre restaurant. Like it would just annoy me, but people do it because they want to say that they've been to Dubrovnik. They want to say they've been to where they filmed Game of Thrones, and they want to take some beautiful photos, which is very easy to do. But I think you guys are better than that. Remember, this is the former Yugoslavia, and it didn't end that long ago. There's no reason why it should be this crazy expensive already. And it's really just because of package tourists and cruise ship tourists that have driven up the price. You can't deny, though, that it is very, very beautiful. So here is Gianni, which is supposed to be one of the best ice cream places around here. Let's see how it is. So I'm taking lemon ginger and Dubrovnik wild orange. Ooh la la. Fala. That's it? That's it. That's good. Alright, let's see how this is good because it was recommended by the Mostar girls. I will say though, this is not quite fair because I'm getting sherbet, which is not something I normally have. Yeah, it's really nice, refreshing sherbet. The only thing I hate is wooden spoons. Someone steal someone's metal spoon. And we have this mandarin orange. This place is better, definitely better than the other one. This place is the winner, guys. Best ice cream in Dubrovnik. Maybe in all of Croatia, definitely in all of Croatia that I've had. Gianni officially wins best ice cream in Croatia. Highly recommended. So, do people tell you that this is the best ice cream in Croatia?
Yes.
And it's all homemade here?
Homemade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can taste it, so Fala, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I convinced her to get a second ice cream, and
You did. It's wonderful.
what flavor is it?
It is wild orange.
And
It's perfect.
and it's lekker. Lekker. So Dubrovnik is also really known for weddings. I'm surprised this is the first one I've seen. So you know that very famous scene where that woman, I forgot her name, but she's walking naked and people are saying shame, shame, throwing everything?
Yeah.
So that is on the stairs around the corner, but originally they wanted to film it here because this has the most beautiful backdrop. It has that church here, has this building here, has it's like the most beautiful square in all of Dubrovnik.
Yeah.
But they wanted to start from that church. And the priest was like, 0 chance we're walking a naked woman anywhere close to my stairs.
Is this a reason?
Yeah, so they had to move it.
To move it to other stairs.
Yeah, but still nice. Less sacred. It's just
It's maybe like
a little school, but they have little support for Ukraine flags. It's good. In Dubrovnik, of all places. It's like, I didn't expect it here. All right, guys, and there you have it. I'm back at the start. I've walked the entire old city. I've seen all the filming spots for Game of Thrones. I've learned a little bit about the history, I've shared a little bit about the history. And the final verdict, as I said before, is it's kind of like going to Venice or like seeing the Eiffel Tower. Like, it's a shame that those are kind of like the hot spots. So I understand why people come, but you can skip it. Like, there's so many more beautiful places in Croatia and the world than here. But you know, I think people are gonna come anyways. So I don't know what to tell you guys. But Dubrovnik, I would say, is a million times better. It's smaller, it's more charming, and I'm sure there's a bunch of towns like Dubrovnik in Croatia and close by that you probably never heard of, or I've never heard of. So explore. Go explore, go have fun. Don't just go to tourist traps. And if you do, don't be like the, crazy package tourists or the cruise ship tourists that come here and just, I don't know, just check things off, just to say you've been there, right? So, be safe, travel safe, and see you guys next one. Such a beautiful city, guys. I love this place so much. I decided to come back. Gianni's. I think this is the best job I've had anywhere in the world. Maybe even including Italy, guys. Guys, ignore everything I said about Dubrovnik. It's worth coming here just for Gianni's. This place has the best freaking gelato I've had anywhere in the world. Maybe including Italy. Like seriously, like for the fruit stuff. It's coconut basil. And this Dubrovnik orange. Decadent, guys. It is the best. Like this by itself has made it worth coming here and spending, you know, an obscene amount of money on everything else. I'm just gonna eat ice cream all day. No more dinner. All right, guys. I decided to walk up the shame stairs, and look what I found. This is the most beautiful part of Dubrovnik. I didn't even realize this was here. Look at this place, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Magnifique. The other really nice thing about not only Dubrovnik, but pretty much all Croatia, there's zero beggars, there's zero pickpockets. It just makes the tourist experience much safer and just much more enjoyable. So good job to Croatia for that. So, it's been a few days. What did you think of Dubrovnik?
Yeah, we loved it. We loved it. It's a beautiful city, but expensive. It is a bit expensive.
And you guys come from the UK.
We do.
Exactly.
So for us to say that, it is quite expensive, but come at this time of year. Don't come July and August. It's really nice this time of year. It's not too busy. May, June. Lovely, lovely. The weather, incredible.
And you discovered a hack. Instead of paying $30 to go up the cable car each, it would have been $60.
Yeah.
What you guys do?
Just grab an Uber. If you want to go see the view from the top, get lunch up there, just order an Uber. It's like £6 each way or something. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And they're all super nice as well.
Yeah. Any other tips you guys picked up on the way?
No, I don't think so.
Stay in a booking.com. That was pretty good. That was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And be prepared for central London prices.
Yeah, be prepared for London prices.
Yeah.
Save all your money for this stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just telling them, because we're looking at the walls right now, that I didn't even bother to do it. Because it was, how much you guys pay for it?
I think $25 each, I think
it was a bit more actually.
No, I think it's more like $30.
30s, yeah.
$30.
Okay, so we could see it from here. Was it worth it?
No, we didn't give it a fair chance.
It's not worth $30.
Well, you get the same view if you go out on a boat or something, or when you come into the city.
Yeah. It's too much.
Instead, we did the kayaking tour.
Okay.
And then you get all the best views, same price, about $30 each, but you do 3 hours kayaking.
Okay.
Can highly recommend that instead of the water.
In the hot sun, unsheltered.
So hot.
Yeah, we went out to it was good.
Okay. But here's the view, guys. I'll throw in a drone shot so you can get the view for free.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this rap from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold, behold.
So hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this series in Dubrovnik. Absolutely beautiful place. Definitely super touristy and crowded by the time you watch this, as the summer season has kicked off. But very sunny, very beautiful. And speaking of which, a lot of you have mentioned that my videos have become more beautiful lately as well. And partially that is thanks to this week's sponsor, this video sponsor, Skillshare. So they are an online platform where you can learn a bunch of skills, including from some of YouTube's biggest creators, like MKBHD. Fun fact is he's actually my favorite tech reviewer on YouTube, and I've been watching him for years now. So I was super excited when I found out he has a class on Skillshare called YouTube Success Script, Shoot, and Edit. So here it is.
How do you stay motivated or stay inspired? Or why do you keep doing this? I've made 1,300 plus videos at this point.
So if you guys want to check out MKBHD's class on Skillshare, YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit, or you want to check out any of the other thousands of classes on Skillshare, you can use my link below for 1 month free. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this Balkan series. I didn't actually plan on going all the way through the former Yugoslavia, but a lot of people have really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's not part of the Schengen, which is good for my 90 days as an American with a passport, US passport, to be able to travel around. And since I am so close to some other Balkan countries, former Yugoslavian countries, let me know where you think I'm gonna go next. Leave a comment below. And also tell me where you want me to go. The only country I will not go to, as I've said a few times in YouTube comments and everywhere else, is I will not be going to Serbia as long as their government is supporting the war in Ukraine, the genocide by Russians in Ukraine.
They came to show their support for Russia and its president, Vladimir Putin. They chant, "Serbs and Russians, brothers forever."
So Serbia, I know it's not every single Serbian. I know there's lots of good Serbians as well. But as long as your government supports it and a big, majority of people are either silent and not speaking up, or they're outright supporting the war, which is killing people in Ukraine, I cannot go and support your country. For now, no Serbia. But there are many other beautiful countries here in the former Yugoslavia, but somewhere else nearby. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.